Was too fast. Welcome to another episode of Satisfying Static. If we sound better, it's because we upgraded.
Dun dun dun. We're like real podcasters now.
We are like real podcasters now.
I have a microphone.
We both do. Isn't that incredible? We'll see how this audio records for us to give the company a shout out, but we'll see how it goes. I am firing up the random word generator right meow. Oh, and belated happy birthday to Maggie on an official forum.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Just a few days ago, she had a lovely time. She got to do all sorts of California fun things.
You don't even know. You have no idea.
I was going to say.
You didn't even ask.
No. Well, because remember you told me.
Rude. We spent an hour setting up microphones. You didn't even ask.
You had told me your plan for the whole birthday week, like last week sometime. So I didn't think to ask because, like, I knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well,
what is our word?
I'm a terrible person. Well, it's a doozy. It's entitlement. It's entitlement, and I feel entitled not to ask you how your birthday was because I'm a piece of shit. So
don't go down that path. Although the universe thinks it's funny today, huh?
The universe thinks it's funny.
You're not a piece of shit. I forgive you. You told me happy birthday. You have your own life to lead, and
I did.
You were very, very excited about the microphone situation. Let's be honest.
I was really excited about the microphone situation. I'm not gonna lie, guys. The audio has been arguably worse than tinfoil in the car. What is happening in your apartment right now?
My neighbors were walking by, and I don't know why I panicked because normally we record just like it's a FaceTime conversation, so that would be way worse. But it does often sound like they're right in my living room with me if I have the windows open. So
yeah, I was gonna say, they're either screaming at each other or they're trying to come over. I can't tell.
Yeah, it gets a little noisy. This apartment is not great with the whole privacy thing.
Right, it's California. You can have paper walls.
I didn't learn that until I got here, and it gets very quiet at night.
You know what would make that worse?
What?
Termites.
Oh my god.
Just to circle all the way back.
Which episode is that? Like 2?
I don't even think. It was early. Anyway, circling back, our audio was hot garbage in the car. I would try to listen to our episodes on my drive to work, and I would be like, I sound horrendous. Let's fix it. So I bought a couple of microphone boom arm bundles, and here we are using official boom arms and official microphones.
My computer is way too old for this.
Your computer's fine. It's gonna be fine.
It's like
yours is newer than mine
right now. Yeah, but I use mine every single day for work, or I used to. So it's definitely overloaded, and I have been ignoring it.
Well, and also I think, what year's yours?
Why are you asking me questions?
I want to say yours is 16, right? Or 17?
I told you. Hold on, let me about this Mac. It is a...
Boy, the suspense.
I don't know where... Oh, 2019. It was 2019.
Oh, yours is only 3 years old. Yeah. So mine's a 2015, and it's running like a champ.
And I missed that one. Honestly, that one I feel like will run forever.
That's what... So, according to Reddit, which is, apparently
your favorite place on the internet,
aside from
TikTok.
Well, lately Reddit wins. But they say that the 2015 MacBook was like the best built MacBook, and that the years after have been significantly lower quality, especially in the way of heating, like cooling. Do you need an air conditioner installed? I can do that.
What? Oh, did you do that at your apartment?
No, I felt like when I said heating and cooling, I was like starting a commercial of Kapow Industries.
It's because you have the microphone in front of you. You think you're in a sound booth.
That's 100% what it is. You're absolutely right.
See, this is your entitlement kicking in.
I was just going to say, should we circle all the way back to entitlement?
Oh my god. god.
Entitlement's interesting. Entitlement. I've been dealing with a lot of entitlement lately.
Oh, have you?
I just feel like there's certain people in my periphery that feel that they are entitled to certain things, and some of them are listeners, so we can't go into too much of that detail. But I am currently dealing with
Uh-huh.
that, and it's not fun. Oh my god, sirens in the background too.
We are gonna have to figure out this microphone situation.
Maggie's audio is incredible. I hope they use it for like B-roll in a cops show.
Oh my god. Stop. You told me to put it on the heart setting, okay? Is there a different setting?
No, the heart setting's the best setting to hear just you. Like it's designed
Oh
for.
no.
Oh my god, it's
This
getting closer. Are they coming to your house? No.
they made a left. Yeah, welcome to my apartment, y'all.
For
It's
like a solid
real
30
funny.
seconds, I was like, oh, they're rolling up on Maggie's house right now. Like they're coming in. It's on fire. We are in trouble, folks.
It's really fun when I'm on a meeting in my living room and they do actually drive past my apartment.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, Harriet's scoping out my. Get. That was my cat.
For those of you who weren't blessed enough to witness that, Harriet just knocked over Christine's computer.
She tried to close my laptop. Like she jumped up, smashed it closed, and then fell back down.
Harriet has it out for you. For those that don't know, Christina's nursing a very serious cat bite.
So, cats carry a
Disgusting.
bacteria called Pasteurella, and it's very dangerous. It's what gave rise to things like cat scratch fever and other things like that. She's currently circling me like she's gonna bite me now.
She has it out for you.
She really does. So yesterday morning, she was in the window doing her little zoomy zoom chirp chirp things, and she comes running back into bed, and I lifted up the blanket because sometimes she likes to cuddle underneath the blankets with me. And she was like, "No, I don't want to do that." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I put the blanket down, and then she bit me hard on my right forearm, like very hard. And 4 hours later, I'm at work and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's super red. It's now draining like pus. It looks bad. It's infected. Cat bites notoriously get bad fast. That's why every time I've ever told Olivia when she gets bit, you have to wash it immediately and get some like triple antibiotic ointment on it and hope that it doesn't do that because it's a coin toss every time. So I'm like panicking all day. I've been staring at it all day. I started oral antibiotics and I'm just like having this debate every 15 minutes like, oh, does my hand feel better or should I go to the ER for IV antibiotics and admission? Who knows? Like some moments it feels fine, other moments it doesn't. Like stretching my forearm out hurts. I've sent pictures to every single medical professional I know to be like, give me your opinion on this. How do we feel? How do we feel?
Okay, so next week we will update you on whether or not Christine has lost her arm.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
I love how you're convincing me now, and I'm terrified for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've genuinely like I texted my recruiter last night because I worked my locums job, my travel job today, and I was like, so hypothetically speaking, if I was going to be admitted into a hospital, what's the protocol to call off? Like, just I've never had to before, so I don't really know. Like, what's the?
Just shoot him a text. How informal is it?
Yeah, she was like, well, my recruiter that I worked with just left, so this is a brand new woman that I've never spoken to. I actually had to text my old recruiter to get my new recruiter's phone number, and she was like, hi. I was like, I know, super awkward that I had got your number this way, but my arm is having some stuff.
You don't email? You couldn't have like just emailed about that one?
By the time I had gotten home from my full-time job yesterday, it was 10 o'clock at night. And like that was the time that I had been looking at it and was like, ooh, are we getting worse? Should I make this judgment call?
Got it. Well, we're still nursing it.
We're nursing it. We're nursing it. The redness seems to have gone the same. It's in the same it's in the same place that it was, but it isn't worse. And that's what matters is it's not worse. So listeners, if you get bit by a cat, you really gotta focus on it. It can be bad fast. Very fast.
So fun stuff.
What kind of entitlement Harriet has to just bite humans like that? What a jerk.
I know, she definitely has a lot of entitlement. I don't know who instilled that in her, but
Couldn't have been me. It was Voldemort. Had to have been. Had to have been.
Obviously. Yeah, my not cat, Murray, he also has a lot of entitlement. I was chatting with his actual owners about how he's just been like a total jerk running around like screaming left and right for people to open their doors and like let him in. So
I don't know why every time we talk about Murray, he reminds me of Oliver Twist, and I can just imagine him being like, "More, please."
oh my
Or like
god.
just like the sad eyes of like being an orphan, but he's really not. Well, Oliver Twist was an actual orphan, but
Right. So he doesn't seem like sad or pathetic or like he needs help. He just like if you give him the wrong treats, he won't eat them. Like
oh my god. Oh, so he's a bougie beggar.
he's not hungry, okay? He's not starving or locked out. He is just coming to get what he wants, whether that's pets or treats or I don't know. I had catnip in here for a while, so he was fucking around with that for a minute. Gotta love motorcycles. The most fun is when they set off the car alarms.
Oh my
um,
god. This is a whole we're all just living vicariously through your background noise.
my
There
windows.
was already a medical emergency and a neighbor drama.
They were just going out to walk the dog, I'm pretty sure, but because
Why would you ruin that fantasy for everyone?
I don't know how you heard yelling. I'm pretty sure they were just like calmly talking in the background.
No, I'm sure they were, but I am only used to my neighbors yelling, and so when I hear people's neighbors in the background, I'm like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Oh, don't worry. I love spying on the neighborhood. It's like my favorite thing to do. It used to be more fun when the person who lived across the street from me was a drug dealer. That made it a lot more interesting for sure.
Hard drugs? Or just like weed? Do we
No,
know?
probably.
I guess you weren't a customer.
I was not a customer, and we stopped speaking midway through their tenure here.
Through their dealing career? Okay.
No, through their they were evicted. So
Oh.
through their tenure of like me moving in and them moving out. But anyway, that was a lot more interesting because I am on the first floor and they would hang out in front of my door.
That is much more interesting. I'm curious what the eviction process in California looks like. Is it long? Is it long-winded?
Yeah, it can be super long, but I think realistically what happened is they made a deal so that they sorry, I was distracted by the neighbors coming back from probably picking up dinner. Anyway, um I think they made a deal that if they moved out by X date, they wouldn't like process the eviction, so it wouldn't go on her record. Yeah. So like they just had to be out by a certain date. And so that worked.
Right. I always wonder that because when me and Voldemort were splitting and we were talking about how I was gonna have to find an apartment and how I was really worried about her kicking me out where I was at had like squatter rights. So like she would have to give me 90 days and then I would get an additional 90 days after that because I had squatter rights. And I like at one point got kind of petty when she was being difficult about me finding a place, threatened that. I was like, well, I have squatter rights, so try me.
I mean, it's definitely important to know your rights as a renter in any state, especially if you're going to be moving in with someone, but it's so different.
Massachusetts is super different too.
Yeah.
So by law, your landlord is supposed to take your security deposit and put it in like a high interest savings account.
They're supposed to do that in Illinois too.
Are they really? Oh, I've never heard it talked about in Illinois.
Why would they?
Right, right. LOL, Cook County. But I've heard people here talk about how like they've had to go to court to get their deposit back, and then they get like if you go to court and you lose, you have to pay your tenant 3 times the deposit.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
And deposits out here so expensive.
Yeah, well, like the interest rates were so low for so long that it was really like a few bucks, especially if you only live somewhere for like a year. But like, yeah, I don't think not enough people know that in like, especially Chicago. Like, those landlords are actually supposed to do that too, but no one really does or no one really talks about it. And my guess would be like, if you do take them to court, you don't get anything good out of it because, yeah, realistically, like high interest the highest I think I've seen was like 1%, and that was like crazy for a long time.
That's what it just hit again.
Yeah, so like I mean realistically like over the course of 2 years I had to do it for one of my tenants and it was like $22.
Oh, I always forget that you were a landlord.
Yeah,
I
that
forgot
too.
that.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I forgot that.
Yep.
You sold the building,
I
right?
didn't. I did not.
Oh,
I did not. I haphazardly manage it from here with the help of a property manager, and that's kind of about it.
dude, I totally thought you sold the building. Did we
No,
talk about that once? Was that like a plan once, was to sell the building?
I thought it would be a good idea, especially once the when the housing market was like absolutely insane. But I couldn't convince my dad that it was a good idea, so we just it's just sitting. Yeah.
I guess I also didn't realize that your dad was somewhat entangled in that.
Mm, yeah, it's complicated,
Quasi.
but
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's all right.
but yeah. So I do still do that, but yeah, that's why I know more some of the landlord laws, but it's in there, but I don't ever see that in anyone's lease. I don't see that in any like drafts of lease or anything like that. Actually, if you live in Illinois or Cook County, you should check your lease. It might be in there.
Right. Yeah, you should definitely look at it, especially because everybody's going to want their deposits in the coming years because renting somewhere new is going to be harder and harder and harder to come by.
Yep, definitely. So yeah, definitely know your rights, know what you can and can't get away with, and all of that good stuff. Because you do have some.
Because landlords are entitled.
Because landlords, like in property management companies especially, are
Property
entitled.
management companies are leeches on society. Like some landlords are like slumlords 100%, but a lot of property management companies are total scumbags.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like it's worse because they'll hide behind the landlord. I hate I hate my property management company. They He'll constantly be like, "Oh, well, I'll have to check with the landlord." BS, you have to check.
Right.
Just say it to my face like I can't believe you're doing this little dance and then you're not going to reply to my emails. Like, let me talk to the landlord then. What is this issue?
Right. So our place when we moved in, we didn't have a property management company. We just had a landlord, and he was fairly responsive to text. He was kind of slow. He's an older guy, whatever. Well, then, like midway through our first like 3 months, he hired a property management company, and we were like, oh no, like what's gonna happen? And like right after they took over, they're like, we're increasing rent by like $150 to cover our fee or whatever. And I was like, holy crap.
Wow, without warning.
Well, yeah, they were like, and they were asking us to re-sign our lease 3 months in, and they said if we didn't re-sign our lease, that they were going to list our apartment as being vacant on the day that we were going to move out and start like putting it places. And I was like, hold up, no. I said, one, I'm not committing to signing a new lease right now.
Mhm.
Period.
Mhm.
And two, what you're gonna list us? You're gonna make appointments around our schedules, and we have animals to come see this place? Like that seems insane to me.
Yeah.
So we texted the landlord and we were like, homie. And he's like, what? No, do not sign anything with them. And I was like, okay, great. Fast forward like 3 days later, I get a personal text message from a real estate agent that says, just want to make sure you're still good for us to do a tour tomorrow at 3.
Oh my
And I said, what?
god.
And I'm like flying off the handle. I look over at Louie and I'm like, we got to call the landlord right now. Right now. Our unit is listed somewhere that it's not supposed to be listed. I want nothing to do with this. Like I was
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah.
So sure enough, like the real estate agent was actually a super nice guy, and he's like, "No, dude, like your unit is up as available in like the next 4 months or something." I was like, "Oh my god!" And so the landlord let the property management have it, and then next month fired the property management company, the entire company. It lasted literally like 2 months, I think, and then it was gone.
Oh god.
Slumlords.
Yeah, and a lot of them will do that. They just like take advantage and it's terrible. So, yeah, some landlords are slumlords, some landlords are just trying to get by, some landlords aren't landlords, they're property management companies.
This is true. I'm gonna give us another word because I feel like entitlement's dark.
Fair. Anyway, know your rights so you don't
Know
get
your
taken
rights.
advantage
Know your rights.
of.
Know your rights. Always try and know your rights. Line is the word.
Really?
Line. You can talk a lot about lines. I don't like standing in them, but I find friends in them. I like that lines connect to make shapes.
You find friends in lines?
I mean, that's the Midwest way.
Oh, well, okay, all right. My first friend here, I did meet in waiting in line at the DMV, so I can't really say
100%.
anything.
Yeah, no, you wait in line and you talk to the people next to you in line, and it's a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. You gotta make the time go by somehow. And my phone was dying, so it was yeah.
I was on, yeah, exactly. I was on a flight from,
Wow.
where was I going? I was either on the way to the Midwest or on the way home from the Midwest, and it was we were all waiting in line very patiently to get off the plane, and for whatever reason, it was taking five ever. And the woman next to me, I find out that her daughter's a PA, and she really respects the profession, and she works in uh, fashion, and she does something with the fashion industry that's pretty high up, and she's only flying back to the Midwest to meet with this one place and whatever. And she's like, I have access to the upper level admirals club thing if you want to come like have drinks and whatever. And I'm like, oh, uh
Fancy.
even yeah, I was like, even for me this moved quickly. I don't think we're friendly enough to go have drinks together, but thank you for the offer, I wish you well. And she was like, during some point in that conversation, she was like, yeah, my daughter's really thankful that I paid for her school. And I said, yeah, my 200,000 is really glad that my parents didn't, I was,
Oh my.
I was like, I think I said, I would hope so. At no point did I look at my parents and go, hey, thanks for letting me have that $200,000 in federal student debt.
Yeah, right.
Like, at no point did I think that, like, yes, it is a hard lesson learned about the value of things in life, but boy, I think there was other ways to do that. My first car payment was a good lesson for that. I don't.
Yep. Yep. There's lots of responsibilities in life where you will end up paying out the nose. I feel like college isn't necessarily the right one.
I just wish.
But who can really afford it anyway?
Right. I wish college. I know we don't like big government getting involved in things, guys, but college should have a hard cap on what they can charge.
Yeah, I agree. I think all student loans should be forgiven.
While I wish that all student debt would be forgiven and that the next generation had a hard cap at like a 1% interest rate and whatever, you, it's never going to happen. And two, everybody else is going to be like, where's mine? Do I get a refund of my $58,000 that I had to pay? And it's like, no, no, you sure don't. Sorry about it. Well, it's like, I don't,
I
it just drives
mean,
me nuts. It's like, you can't do anything right because the generation before that's going to be like, well, I didn't have it that way. Well, no, you didn't. And it's called progress. And I'm sorry that you are, I'm sorry you
speaking
weren't
of
born 30 years later.
entitlement,
Well, what, right? Like,
speaking of entitlement, well, that's what I was going to say. Like, so what? Let them be mad. Like, what are they going to be mad at? Yes, things changed. Yes, this sucks. And like, did I have to pay for college out of pocket? Yeah, I did. Did I figure it out? Yeah, I did. Am I going to be mad if everybody else's loans get forgiven? No.
do you think the generation that retired before Social Security was a thing was pissed?
Yeah, probably. I'm
Right?
sure they
Like, do you think
were.
that they were like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There's always change. There's always things that are different. There's always going to be a generation that's mad that they don't get to participate. It is what it is. Like, that's unfortunate. The unfortunate part of being a human in this world.
I just have to imagine like all that stuff, right? Like the generation above being like, what do you mean you don't have to join the draft? It's like, well,
Right. Right.
well, there's still
Exactly.
a draft, but like we're not really using that anymore.
Fingers
Like
crossed.
I should
Knock
have,
wood.
but yeah, before my grandmother or my grandfather died, I should have asked him like, hey, are you mad at people that aren't getting drafted because you got drafted on your 18th birthday? I bet his answer would have been like, no, I don't wish that on anyone, even out of
Yeah.
spite.
Probably, yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure there are people that hold on to that grudge, but like, that's just people, and you hear those people, they're loud about it. They'll be the ones who'll be like, well, back in my day, and you're like, well, it's not
Oh
your
my
day,
god.
bud. So, I
I've been
mean,
dealing with
thanks for the
that a
story,
lot.
but
I've been dealing with that a lot with my mother about like wedding planning. She's like, "What? At my wedding, we did
oh
this," and
no,
I'm like,
I don't
"Homie,
wish that
no."
upon my worst enemy, by the way, having to deal with your mother and wedding planning. I'm so
Dude,
sorry, Liv.
oh, it's been rough. It's been rough. And she like,
I believe it.
God, what did she ask? There's something the other day that she asked about like cake cutting or something, and I was like, "No, we're not. We're not." What was it? she asked me cake flavors or something. Oh, I think she might have asked me cake flavors, and we were like, I don't know. We kind of like the idea of like a funfetti cake or something, like kind of half jokingly, but like also funfetti cake. Why not? And she was
Yeah.
like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh well, it's a good thing it's not your wedding. Just to be very clear
Right.
here, you're
Right.
like
Right.
you're invited. That's
Right.
it.
And like, what is that? I'm sorry. Like, obviously, I'm not on any track to get married anytime soon. But what is it with parents' entitlement and their kids' weddings? Like, I just don't. And part of this
It's
might be
them.
because like I don't have a good relationship with my parents, so I would be very
Right.
like if the second my mom said a thing, I would be like, Why are you here? Why are you in the
What
room?
actually? Why are you speaking to me right now? Stop.
Why who invited you? Why are you here? But but like I just don't understand that kind of like why. I mean, I guess if you're paying for the whole thing, but then say that as a stipulation of the money. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like don't be like, "Oh, this is my gift to you because I want you to have a good wedding, but I'm going to dictate every single inch of it." Like, no. I will pay for everything if you let me pick everything. That is the deal. Agree now or forever hold your peace.
Or don't take my money. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's totally fair. I think that's totally fair. I think
Like be
yeah,
upfront.
if right, right. If you're paying for it, fine. But if you're not, GTFO. Um, Rewinding back to your mother, for whatever reason, I just have this very visceral memory of I
What?
called you one time and your mom was there. And she's just in the background on the phone, like speaking super
So
fast
loud.
Polish to I think it was to your father about like Home
Probably.
Depot or
Probably.
something along those lines. Like your dad had gone to Home
Probably.
Depot
She's
and
always on the phone with my dad.
yeah, and she just she and like Maggie's like standing in her kitchen like having a conversation with me on FaceTime about something. And it was relatively quick and just like right over her shoulder you can just see her mom like this wicked fast Polish speaking human. And I'm like, this is like a scene out of a comedy of some sort. Like she's in the back just like going off. And I'm like,
I
what is happening?
I wonder if it was when she came to visit me because like 90% of that trip she spent on the phone with my dad.
It had to have been because you were definitely in California, and it was. I definitely had forgotten that she was there, and then when as soon as you
Yeah.
picked up, and I was like, "Who's that? Oh my god!" And you were like, "It's my
Oh,
mom."
your
I was
mom's
like,
in town.
"Oh."
Yeah. Yeah. So I answered a lot of phone calls and stuff. I had a lot of downtime.
Yeah, yeah, I did. Oh
But
boy.
you
Oh
know,
boy, look at
anyway.
us. We're already squaring up on time here. That we didn't do much in the way of words this time, but
I feel like we hung on to entitlement pretty well there. I mean, we didn't keep bringing it up, but honestly, all of
right,
those,
right.
all those fit under that umbrella.
You're
Is
right.
this
I
the
would like to
is this the
go ahead.
first episode where we've stuck with one word?
Maybe, but I tried to throw line in there and we quickly punted line back to the end of the line, actually.
Oh my god!
Brought that
I
full
forgot.
circle.
Yep. Forgot about
Yeah,
that
I
one.
tried to introduce line and then we said no. I
Failure.
do want to say today at work, I met an individual who I was talking to about itchy ears and how when I use earbuds, my ears get very itchy. I
Mm-hmm.
like my ear canals, and I
Mm-hmm.
recommended not doing that. And I said when I edit the podcast, or I said when I edit my podcast, it hurts my ears or whatever. And she was like, "Oh my god, wait, you have a podcast?" And I said, "Oh, I did not mean to make this a self promotion conversation, but here we go." Turns out she has ADHD, so she's probably going to listen. So, hello, new listener who met me at work.
Oh, hi
Welcome.
there. Hi there, new listener. We're so happy to have you. Hopefully, you've
You're
made it
number
this far.
you're number 301. Congratulations.
Look at us go.
I think we have about 260 some odd consistent listeners, which is more than I thought we were gonna have. So
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And now TikTok has stories, so expect me to be all over those and
I can't. I'm trying to get
featuring
into them, and I just can't.
the mic. Well, you know I love my Instagram stories, so I'm gonna be all over it.
I'm also terrible at those.
I love it. It's 24 hours and it's gone. I just put up the stupidest stuff. Usually.
Yeah, I think my thing with TikTok stories is they can also end up on people's For You page. So it feels like a real video is posted, but you don't get the benefits of keeping that video to keep going viral. So it's like I don't know.
Well, it might be a way to get new followers, which not that you care about, but it might be a way to get new followers. But I don't know. Whatever. You know how I feel about TikTok. It gives me a reason to have fun again because I was kind of like struggling with making videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how this goes.
Creator that I'm friends with on TikTok and I were talking about they're making much more money on Instagram. And so I tried to post a few reels to get
Oh, I saw that.
the bonus
No.
activated, and both reels
No.
when I posted them almost immediately I got trash comments and like
No.
some
Instagram
visceral hate, and I was like, oh
trash.
boy.
100% trash. Yeah, I've tried to post a couple like reels, no hashtags, just me like playing around.
Right. Yeah.
Not even me doing anything. Immediately getting solicited, immediately getting like all of these creepy, like weird guys who are now trying to get in my DMs, like from other countries. No, get your spam trash robot accounts out of here. Like, it's
and
not
I had to
fun.
go through the "Are you a guy or a girl?" conversation.
Oh
and
God,
it's just like, oh boy, I don't know that Instagram's my vibe. I'm gonna keep trying, but
No,
boy,
I
don't know.
I don't care. I leave that as my little. They all serve their purpose, right? Like Snapchat is very, very close circle. If you have my Snap, it was either an accident, or or you're like a very close friend of mine. Instagram is like slightly bigger than that, and like I don't expect a lot of people from TikTok to follow me on there, so I kind of shitpost on there a little bit.
I don't want to brag at all, but we are at a 477-day streak on Snapchat.
Oh shit, is that where we're at? Hell yeah.
477 days.
And it broke.
And it broke before the first year.
Yeah, but
right?
Was it at
I think it was
before
like
100?
No, I was in like the 200s because I was mad when it broke.
I was so mad.
I was high key upset.
That was a rough day. But yeah, we're doing pretty good now.
That had to have been 2 years ago because August of 2020 would have been when we hung out. I know.
Time makes no sense anymore.
No.
I just can't. Like 2020 was 2 years ago? No, that was like yesterday. What? How long have I been in California? Like none of it makes any sense.
I also feel like the pandemic just has made things not real. Okay, we're rambling now.
Somebody has fucked up the simulation. Yep, and on that note,
100%.
Thanks guys.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Until next time.